Welcome back to Captain of Industry. Today we're going to talk about something very important. We're going to talk about diesel. Diesel is a key resource in the game because all of your trucks and excavators and tree harvesters, they need diesel to function. So it's sort of the basis of all of your logistics and production. And on top of that, diesel is used to make rubber, and rubber is used to make all of your conveyor belts. So diesel is everywhere. And you also need diesel for all of your boats, be it your main boats or your cargo boats. Even the cargo ship here that's going on the map, going to the oil rig to get me crude oil, it needs diesel. It's 70 diesel per single journey. So you see diesel is everywhere. Very early in the game, basically among the first 10 research that you do, you're going to do basic diesel. It will give you the oil pump to get crude oil out of your soil, and it will give you the basic distiller who's transforming crude oil plus coal into some diesel. But this is very inefficient. As you can see, we're taking 54 crude oil and only making 24 diesel. That's only a sort of 44% efficiency. Fortunately, after the research lab level 2, you get access to advanced diesel. And this is what we're going to talk about in this video, but we're not going to talk only about this advanced diesel per se. We're also going to talk about gas combustion and sulfur processing here to see what is the optimum layout and the optimal effect and efficiency that you can get with this advanced diesel. Let's dive right in. I already have on my channel a video detailing an efficient and beautiful layout for the basic distiller that you can see here. Again, it's taking crude oil and coal to make your diesel, also with some exhaust and wastewater, which is why you need here your liquid dump. You have here my exhaust with smokestack, and basically we're taking the crude oil over here, the coal, and we're making the diesel this way. But now with advanced diesel, we're unlocking distillation stage 1 and distillation stage 2. Basically, distillation oil stage 1 will take the crude oil and create some medium oil. You see it here. It's taking crude oil and a bit of steam at high pressure to create a lot of medium oil. It's actually 48. A bit of heavier oil, this is the one you see here, as well as a bit of sour water. This is the one over here. So quite a lot more complex, and it's not creating diesel directly. As you saw, it's creating medium oil. But then you're going to put your distillation stage 2, basically just here, right? So that here we're creating medium oil, and here we're taking the medium oil, and a bit more steam once again, then to create the diesel. So to recap, we're using again 54 crude oil. This is the same sort of input, but as output, instead of 24, we're getting 36 diesel as a base. So this is now a 67% efficiency. This is a lot less crude oil or oil that is wasted. So basically, as soon as you unlock this, I do suggest you sort of forget about your basic distillers and try to just move to those new ones. As we said, you do need steam at high pressure. If you haven't unlocked anything else yet, you can just use your boiler coal. This will take water and coal to make this steam high with a bit of exhaust. This is what you can see here. I have basically the boiler here. There's the coal and water that would be coming from here. Then this steam is going at level 0 here, going to those two buildings here, and the third over here. At level 1, this would be my crude oil coming from either from the ground or from a cargo depot, and it's going down over here, over here, over here. Now you may be wondering why I have 3 of these, because this is creating 48 steam high, right? If we look at one pair of level 1 and level 2, this is 9 and this is 6. So that is 15 times 3, that's 45. So with one boiler, you can have enough steam for 3 of these, right? This is why I put them together. And that enables us also to check a bit how much coal, how much water we're using and to compare versus the basic distiller. So very simple comparison here. If we take the basic distiller versus the advanced diesel, which is basically your stage 1 and stage 2, and a boiler coal. If we take 3 buildings of each to compare a bit things that are comparable, basically both of these will use 54 times 3, which is 162 crude oil. In terms of coal, the first one will use 6 coal per basic distiller, and we have 3, so that's 18. And as we just saw, Actually, this one will also use 18 because it will use one boiler. The difference though is that the first one doesn't need any water, the second does need 48 of water. Now 48 of water, you could have rainwater harvester, this wouldn't really cost you anything. You could have a ground pump water, again this wouldn't really cost you anything except a bit of electricity. Or you could be using desalinated water like I'm using here, and in that case you would use basically a bit more coal. 8 coal to be precise. But again, the key thing is that your diesel production is a lot higher. Instead of 72, which is 24 times 3, you would get 108, 36 times 3. So basically, as long as you have a bit of water or a bit more coal, this is a lot better. Now remember that those two buildings also create other things: heavy oil, sour water, and light oil. At this point in the game, if you've only unlocked the advanced diesel, you can't really do much about this. Basically, in that case, what you'll have to do is just put flares. You'll put a flare for the heavy oil, flare here for the light oil. Then your sour water, you actually will need to dump it into the ocean with a liquid dump. Now, if you do a couple more research and you get to gas combustion, you're gonna be able to do something with your heavy oil and your light oil. In particular, basically, you're gonna be able to create steam. And this is what you can see now in this second layout. I still have my boiler coal here. Why? Because basically we will need it to kickstart the production. But when this whole thing is running, actually this won't be used at all. Especially if you have, like I did here, a pipe balancer, which will take in priority this one over here instead of that one over here. Because now we have two boiler gas here. One that's going to transform our heavy oil into steam, and this one here that's going to transform our light oil into steam. So actually, instead of the 48 here, now we're creating double, 96. This is more than what we need, but this is also why now instead of 3, I've put a fourth one. Apart from that, this is pretty similar. You have the steam that's coming over here. We have the crude oil that's coming over here, and we still have our sour water that's going to be dumped. What has changed is that now we're taking the heavy oil. So the heavy oil, for example, is leaving from here. Here it's linking with this one, which is taking the heavy oil for that one and that one. And then it continues. Here it will take the heavy oil from that one. And then all of this heavy oil is going into this boiler over here. Now this boiler is taking 24. This is 6. 6 times 4, 24. This is also why I have 4. 4 is the right combination for your heavy oil. In terms of the light oil, once again, the light oil is coming here at the front. So similarly, I have a pipe going over here all the way over there. Now for the light oil, this is actually 36. And if we look here, we're creating 12, right? So 3 would be enough. So the first one is a bit more, which is why here you see this balancer. The light oil is coming over here, going into this balancer here. Now, what we're gonna do is put priority over here, which means that all of the oil, light oil, will go over here until this is full. When this is full, then the flare is going to burn the excess light oil. This way, those things will never be full, because when it's full, it stops, of course, right? So you want to avoid that. So again, why is that great? Well, because this way, we don't need our boiler coal over here. This way, we don't need to use any coal. Let's redo a quick comparison. Now we have 4 of those buildings, right? We're doing 4. So this is 216 crude oil. With the basic distiller, this needs 24 coal. With the boiler coal, we would need 2 of those boilers. That would mean 36 coal. Now with this one, with the gas combustion, we actually need 0. You need, again, just a bit of coal to kickstart it, and then you won't need it at all. On the other hand, you do need some water. You need 96 of water. If you're using, again, groundwater, that's easy, that's just a bit of electricity. If you're using desalination, that is an equivalent coal of 16, which is a lot less than both of these already, all right? And now you're producing 144 diesel. This one is already great, but we can do even better. And the next stage comes when you unlock sulfur processing here. This is really direct from your advanced diesel, but you also need construction part level 3 because the building actually costs level 3. this will unlock your sour water stripper. Remember, we're creating sour water. Now we can do something about it. With this sour water, if you add a bit of steam, you'll be able to do sulfur, ammonia, and water. And this is what you can see here. I still have here my boiler coal just to kickstart the thing. Then I have my 2 boilers gas for heavy and light oil. But now, instead of dumping my sour water, I added 2 of these sour water strippers. Why 2? Well, again, I have 4 of these here, right? And I'm creating 18 here. That's 36 and 36. So 36 on this one, 36 on that one. It also needs a bit more steam, but remember we're making 96 of steam and this is only requiring 72. Now, this is going to make us sulfur and ammonia. We're going to talk about this after, but on top of that, it's also going to make us water. 24 plus 24, that's 48. So basically, if we feed that water back into the system, you know, this is taking the water that's needed for one of those boilers. So instead of 96 of water, we only need half, 48. Again, if we're redoing a quick comparison, you know, this hasn't changed, but now we don't need any coal at all. And instead of 96 water, we only need 48, which means that if you're using desalination, this is only the equivalent of 8 coal in terms of that production of water. It's really nothing to get 144 of diesel. On top of that, we also get 24 sulfur and 24 ammonia. Now, what are we going to do with those sulfur and ammonia? Well, there's a number of things that you can do, but let me give you some example. The first one is the rubber maker. If you remember, at the beginning of the video, I said we need a lot of diesel because we need diesel to make rubber. This was this one here. Also uses a bit of coal, by the way, and it's 8 to 12, right? Now, if you're using sulfur instead of coal, you're going from 12 to 18, so even better. Now, ammonia, again, there's a number of uses. If you don't know that, you can do right click on the resource and it will get you to the recipe page. You can see where I can produce ammonia. For example, you know, this is the one we're going to use, but also what you can do with it. And in particular, at this stage of the game, this is probably a good way for you to make fertilizer level 1. Use a bit of water, a bit of nitrogen. Remember, you can get your nitrogen in your air separator here. And with that, you're making fertilizer level 1 to put on your farms. So in practice, how may that look? Well, like this here. I have here my cargo ship, which is bringing a lot of crude oil. This crude oil comes here. It goes into this pipe here to get into all of these distillers stage 1. I have 4. Then these distillers are making my medium oil, heavy oil, and sour water. Medium oil is going directly into this one, and with a bit more steam, it's going to make my diesel and my light oil. While I'm here, let me show you where the diesel is going. The diesel is actually going right back here. And here I have a pipe balancer. So, well, first I put priority over here because I want to make sure that this is filled so that then this ship can go back and get more crude oil. It's sort of a virtuous circle, and then the rest of the diesel can go back into my city. Now, as we said, another thing that's needed for both of these is steam. The steam is what's coming here at level 1, coming all the way over here from level 1. And as you can see, also I've been playing with the 2 pipes, level 2 and level 1. This is 200 per minute, this is only 60 per minute. So on the main arteries, I'm using 200, but here, for example, you know, I don't need a level 2 because this is only 9, right? So 9, 9, I don't need a level 2 on those 2. And then it continues over here. Similarly, I don't need a level 2 to go to here because this is only 6 and 6. But this is my steam. You know, it goes over here and over there. Similarly here, it goes over here to these ones and to these ones. And then lastly, we also do need steam over here. So that same artery is delivering steam here and there. Now this steam is coming from here, as we said. Let's follow it. So my steam is being created over here. There is this pipe balancer over here. Those two have priorities over this one. Why? Because this is my boiler coal. This is only needed now that I'm kickstarting the whole production. Later on, those two will take over and this one will completely stop. This is why I have priorities on those two. but at the same time, I prefer to just leave it just in case. Again, this boiler is taking coal and water. That's easy. I already had a lot of coal coming over here for my desalination. So I just took a small branch and took it here. And then my desalination is obviously creating water, right? I have videos on my channel if you want to see that. But this is, the exit of the water going back into the city. So I just once again took a bit of it to send it over here for this boiler, but also here going into this other pipe balancer. What is that one doing? Well, basically that one is taking priority from this pipe over here over that one, and then just delivering for both of these boilers. What is that one? Well, this is actually the water that is coming here and there from those two south water strippers. Again, I want to make sure that what we're creating, this water, is being used before we use water that we are creating from here. While we're talking about those sour water strippers, there's also sulfur and ammonia, right? The sulfur is coming here, level 0 coming up to go above the pipe and then down into this one. And then the second thing we're creating is the ammonia, which is a liquid, which is coming out over here and there. So it goes at level 1, then very quickly at level 2 to go all above. And then here, another pipe balancer. Why? Because first of all, I want to make sure to fill this as much as we can, especially because later I want to use it, right? But if this is full for a reason, then I want to make sure that this continues to function. Therefore, I have this flare. So hopefully this flare will basically never work, but it's better to have it than to have my whole thing stuck. Then what haven't we talked about? Well, there's the sour water. The sour water is coming over here. This is those two pipes. They go at level 1 here, and they stay first at level 1 and then go all the way to level 3. They go all the way to level 3. This is level 1 because this is only 36, right? Because this is only 36, 18 plus 18. But then when it merged to the second one, this one, right? That goes over here. Now we're getting to 72. So 72 is higher than the level 1. So I get to level 2 and then it goes into my two sour water strippers, of course. Why level 3? Well, because I needed level 2 for my heavy oil and level 1 for my light oil. This is what's happening here. So it is, don't hesitate to share in the comments below if you have any thoughts, any question about it. I will post, of course, on my Discord community a screenshot of this in build mode if you want to count tiles and things like this. I'm not saying this is completely perfect. I'm sure we can do even better, and I'll probably try to do even better on my Let's Play series. And the idea, once again, was to show you that as soon as you can, you should move into this advanced diesel, retire your basic distillers and move to those two. Right away, you can build all of this. At the beginning, you may not have researched the sour water stripper or even the boil gas, but that's fine. Just leave the space for it, as I've done over here. And then later on, when you can, build them and you'll definitely be happy of your choice. If this was helpful, also don't hesitate to smash the like button. Always appreciated. Also helps the YouTube algorithm to share this video with more Captain of Industry fans out there. And I hope to see you next time.